Welcome to London Calling Show 2. I'm Steve Jesson, back for more 20th century musical thrills. The Beatles to Britpop, Dylan to Dubstar, the Stones to Sieg Sieg Sputnik. Last month we started looking at music venues in Camden, and here's the second part of that feature, starting off with Prince's favourite hangout, the Electric Ballroom. Established in 1938 as the Buffalo Club and then the Carousel, is the Electric Ballroom on Camden High Street. Throughout the 1970s, major acts such as Paul McCartney's Wings, Led Zeppelin, The Clash and Frank Zappa would use it as a rehearsal space. In 1978 it relaunched as a rock venue, with The Greedies, the short-lived collaboration between the Sex Pistols and Thin Lizzy put together by Phil Lynott. 2 weeks later, Sid Vicious held a gig here called Sid Sods Off, designed to raise funds for him and Nancy to get over to the States. It was an auspicious evening, attended by, amongst others, Shane MacGowan. Sid did raise his airfares, but sadly he was destined never to return again. In 1979, a two-tone evening with Dexys Midnight Runners, The Selector and Madness took place here. Into the 1980s, bands such as the B-52s, U2, Nick Cave, Joy Division and others followed. Now the venue is threatening for survival, with a development proposal by the TfL threatening its future. It would mean compulsory closure. Now 10 years ago, musicians such as Bob Geldof and Graham Coxon helped win a public inquiry to secure its future. Now a new proposal threatens it once again. Let's not see this go the same way as the Marquee Club. Help the Electric Ballroom.
Look a man, she's someone else.
Dingwalls behind me, situated in Camden Lock, gets its unusual name from the 19th century practice of business owners painting their names on the outside wall of their buildings. A music venue since 1973, it was name-checked in an early Stranglers song called London Lady. I think eclectic would be the best word to describe this particular venue, with acts like the Drifters appearing in the 80s and December 2013's lineup including a peculiar mix of up-and-coming acts, Craig Charles' Funk and Soul Show and the Wurzels.
Well, I ain't got a brand new combine harvester and I'll give you the key.
The Roundhouse behind me is a Grade 2 listed former railway engine shed, reopened in 1964 as a performing arts venue. Early highlights included the Doors' only UK appearance and the 1966 launch of the underground newspaper International Times with Pink Floyd and Soft Machine. It was the centre of the culturati at the time, hosting gigs by Jeff Beck, the Rolling Stones, David Bowie, Jimi Hendrix and others. It closed in 1983 as a music venue, but relaunched in 96. And just prior to that, the Manic Street Preachers filmed their Design for Life video here in its abandoned space. Between 2006 and 2010, it hosted the much-missed BBC Electric Proms, where legendary performers would rub shoulders with unlikely collaborators. Today, it hosts a recording studio and a record label. Just a few doors down from the Dublin Castle on Parkway is Sounds That Swing, an independent record shop specialising in rock and roll, rockabilly and blues. Record Shop of the Month.
Now let me tell you about my real gone chick. She's got a different style, and when she tries to talk to me, I always smile. She's tongue-tied to my rock and thrill, but I like to hear her say, well, me, dot, put me won't, 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 me, dot, put me won't, and me, dot, you. Let's go!
Here we are at Sounds That Swing on Parkway in Camden. This is Neil Scott, the owner of the shop.
Hello.
How you doing, Neil?
Good.
Tell us more about the shop. How long has it been running?
In this location, 5 years, but we were around the corner on Inverness Street for about 14 years, I guess, something like that.
And you were telling me there's been quite a revival in the 45 recently.
Yeah, it has. The 45's really sort of kind of had a resurgence in the last, I guess, sort of 3-4 years, but probably in the last year especially, it's probably been. I mean, I'm just on a very small reissue market, probably 500 reissue releases at least, probably just from one guy, probably. You know, even more than that.
Yeah. And you've got a website, nohitrecords.co.uk.
That's it, yeah.
And what sort of reissues do you tend to specialise in?
It's mainly, I mean, rhythm and blues, that kind of this, like a new genre, which is, I mean, it's not a new genre, but it's been tagged a new genre, which is like new breed or like popcorn, which is another kind of style of thing. Plus we do a lot of rockabilly. Yeah. And sort of rock and roll stuff as well, you know. Great.
And is that mainly the type of music that you sell here?
It is mainly, yeah. I mean, we do. We kind of go from the 30s probably up to the sort of late 70s, but it's mainly obscure stuff. Not really any poppy stuff at all. It's mainly obscure stuff with the, you know. Yeah.
Including the original pressings?
Yep. We've got boxes. There's boxes of original stuff there. Great. Going from like sort of £5 up to £1,000 probably.
Really?
Some singles. Yeah. Some rockabilly and blues stuff. Yeah.
I believe that some of the original pressings of the reissues that you do are worth quite a bit of money.
Yeah. Some of those records are like virtually impossible. Barely even exist. Okay. there might be like 3 copies of them. There are a few things that we've reissued which have come from acetates, which are completely unreleased records. Really? Probably the acetate is the only surviving copy in the whole world anyway.
Yeah. And what's your opinion on the future of vinyl? Do you see it quite healthy?
Yeah, I know. I mean, you know, vinyl will never ever disappear. There's not ever a chance that it will ever disappear. It's even through the sort of height of CDs, there's still vinyl records being released, and there's still people, you know, like feverishly collecting original records, and that's got even stronger over the last few years. Yeah. You know, there's a lot more people. A lot of the younger guys who used to just come in would only buy CDs. Yeah. Now, you know, they'll only buy vinyl. Right. And they're trying to sell us back their CDs, which we don't really want.
That's great. So CDs are on the way out then, you think?
In general, I mean, you know, I don't think CDs will ever die out either. But they are definitely. It's either really cheap, or it has to be some very special release for it to, you know, that mid-range CD. Yeah, it's kind of sort of deadish.
That's really interesting. So vinyl is healthy at the moment.
Yeah,
that's great.
More than healthy.
Thank you.
Yeah.
For this month's Inky Fingers, we go all the way back to the 14th of February 1976 with the New Musical Express. NME Subversive, it's official, it declares on the cover. Although it's interesting to look back at the time just before punk gained momentum, as in the 1976 Readers' Poll, it was very much business as usual, with people like Joni Mitchell, Queen, Led Zeppelin and The Who scooping the readers' votes. Inside we've got interviews with Robert Plant and Queen on tour, including this brilliant picture of Freddie Mercury and New York doll David Johansen backstage. Don't they make a lovely couple? Now let's leave you with some fabulous stroke hideous items from the back pages. We've got dungarees at £5, flared, and cotton drill loons £2.60, 6 foot long bullwhip £1.90, and look Scandinavian it says here, with continental clogs at £5. That's your lot for this month. Don't forget to check out stevejessen.com for more from the NME in 76 and random musical musings. See you next time.
So much like